What is roaming and why is it important? Roaming means leaving the bottom lane to influence mid, jungle or top, aiming to get kills, objectives or vision. It's crucial in modern League of Legends, especially with early objectives like void grabs that help snowball advantages and win games. When you want to roam after pushing the wave or when your ADC is recalling or dead so they don't need any cover from you to farm. Alternatively, you can roam around 8 minutes in for void grabs. Ideally, we want to roam for every possible objective, fight, potential skirmish that may happen, as long as you do not completely give up your ADC's tempo. But if you do, make sure that the sacrifice is worth it. So before roaming, check if the ADC is safe, if they're in a kill range of enemy bot, and if they have access to the farm. Coordinate with the jungler for exact actions you're going for, whether it's a mid gank or fight for void grabs. Avoid roaming if the ADC is vulnerable or the enemy bot lane has wave frozen on their part of the lane. How to roam effectively? When roaming, try to choose only the safe path so you cannot be intercepted by the enemy support and jungler. Here are 3 options how you can roam, and each arrow represents how safe is 0. So red one is basically suicidal, yellow is neutral but still somewhat risky, green one is safe. Keep in mind the side of the map I'm playing for, as those arrows would have an exact opposite meaning from the opposite side of the map. Communicate your movements with pings. Feel free to even spam ping to make sure your ally reacts when you approach the lane. Sometimes, when it's bluntly obvious that the roam will not succeed, make sure to use the time to drop vision, either for mid laner or your own lane. Return quickly if the roam doesn't look promising to avoid denying your ADC farm and your own XP. If you expect yourself to roam a lot and be proactive everywhere on the map, make sure to buy MOBAs, aka Symbiotic Souls, or Boots of Swiftness. Roaming as a support involves leaving the bottom lane to influence other map areas such as mid lane, jungle, or top lane, with the goal of securing kills, objectives, or vision control. As the game evolves, this skill has become increasingly vital due to the changes in the meta, particularly the introduction of void grabs, which spawn at 8 minutes and encourage early map pressure. Roaming allows supports to impact the game outside of their lane, snowballing advantages for teammates and securing the objectives like void grabs or towers by creating quantitative advantage. What makes a champion a good roamer? Different supports have varying advantages that allow them to roam. When we want to roam, we should first ask ourselves if our champion is well designed to do it. We are mainly looking for the next things. First, champion has to be mobile, which can be somewhat cheated by purchasing Boots of Swiftness or Symbiotic Souls. Perfect examples would be Janna, Bard, and Pyke. Second, champion has to have crowd control spells that allow them to catch the enemy. Perfect example would be Rakan, Thresh, and Blitzcrank. Third, Hex Flash users that can use their reserve flash to jump over the wall and gap close to the vulnerable enemy. Perfect examples would be Nautilus, Leona, and Rell. Fourth, champions who are really good at tower diving. Perfect examples would be Elise, Alistar, and Fiddlesticks. However, in certain situations, roaming can backfire if not executed properly. First, roaming at the wrong time. Leaving the lane when the ADC is under pressure or vulnerable to get dove due to low HP or due to the fact that they have no summoner spells. Alternatively, a major mistake could be if you leave an ADC when the wave is pushed towards the enemy tower, but the push is not finished yet. So the enemy bot lane can easily build a freeze which ADC cannot break without you. That will often lead to them dying, forcing themselves into a bad position to at least soak some experience. Second, not communicating. Failing to ping the allies can lead to the ADC playing aggressively and getting caught. So if you're leaving, make sure to ping at least few times ADC to get back. Also, if your intention of roam is to gank mid or to invade an enemy jungler, signal the information accordingly. Do that multiple times to absolutely make sure that the players on your team will not miss that information. Your roam is only good if your allies can react to it accordingly and act as you need. Over roaming, or vacation mode as I call it. Spending too much time roaming is another mistake you should be very careful about. One thing is to quickly roam mid, get a kill, and return to your ADC. And completely different thing is if you are turning airplane mode on and have a relaxing voyage down to the enemy Krax or a Grom and getting another fight around void grabs and then eventually help jungler to do them. On paper it will look like you did a lot of stuff, but in reality that can zone your ADC off any farm for 3 minutes. Summoner spells. Always pay attention to the enemy summoner spells used. Whether it was teleport or flash burn, it opens you multiple options to do. If you burn a flash on an enemy mid laner, the next time you gank them, within 5 minutes, they'll be much more vulnerable to be killed. If they just use teleport and you gank them right away but didn't kill, don't be upset about it, as the enemy laner would still lose HP because of your gank, which will make their laning phase harder. One last thing to add is that you shouldn't roam if your ADC is just a bad player, since that would probably make the game a 4v5 game. game. Not that they will leave the game, but that they will be completely useless. Make your roams always have a clear idea and intention behind it, while it should also be reasonable to abandon your ADC, as some bot laners benefit a lot from solo experience. And that's a wrap. This was my ultimate guide to support roaming in Season 15. Focus on your timings, pick the right champs, and use those tricks we discussed today, and you will be carrying your games from the support role. If you found this helpful, drop a like, it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss next guide. In the comments, tell me who is your favorite roaming support and why do you pick them over other supports. For more tips, check out my channel. I'm sure that you will find great videos that you might love. Thanks for watching, Summoners. See you on the Rift.